conversation, hot topics. For those relating, it's a pretty dope conversation.
What up, world? It's your girl Shay Beats. I'm here with my girl D-Mac, and we are a pretty dope conversation. And we'll be right back. Okay, sorry for the technical difficulties. You know, sometimes it happens or whatever. No matter how much you prepare, sometimes unforeseeable stuff happens. So, like I was saying, I'm Shay Means. It's my girl D-Mac, and we are a pretty dope conversation. Before we get into it, we're gonna go ahead and do the vibe check. Let us see them hearts. Let us see them thumbs up. Let us know that you loving on us, because we loving on y'all. Yeah. Let us know if you're happy, if you're sad. Drop a comment, drop a heart, drop a like. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, join a pretty dope. Tell a friend, invite. Don't forget to invite.
Don't forget. Angelica, I see you in the building. Ellis, I'm glad to see you join us. Kiva.
That's me.
I hear myself in echo. It's happening over here. Cooper, Michelle, Denise. I like to say all your names. What? Lady Hill is in the building.
Oh,
She's in the building.
What up? But you gotta get drum rolls. We like this. Drum rolls.
Is in the building. Hi, everybody. We got Monique Meredith in the building. Khadija Lane, we're glad to see you. Thank you for always supporting us. We do have 12 people in. We're asking you to like, share, and subscribe. Please invite your friends to tell a friend and tell a friend. Join us. And please join the conversation. Listen, Don't be shy. So, Biggs, what do we have here?
So we're gonna share a highlight. We're gonna highlight somebody in the city. Of course, this is Women's History Month. So put up on the screen Misha Porter, our first Black female NYC school chancellor.
Yes.
So we're just gonna support her, shout her out, let you guys know that whatever level you at, it can be done. You can rise to the top.
Yes.
So again, first Black female school chancellor. She was born in Queens, raised in the Bronx. She was a product of her environment, so to speak. Like, she was raised around educators. So with that being said, our kids can become a product of their environment.
It could be a good thing.
It could be.
It doesn't always have to be a bad thing. So
Definitely.
I just wanted to highlight her. It is Women's History Month, so what better thing to do?
Right, and it took place. She actually got into her position yesterday.
Yep.
So
right on in the
right
nick of time.
Right on time. This our year, ladies. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Big things. Let's go.
So next, I guess we could. Did you know?
Yeah. Did you know? So we're gonna ask you guys, did you know about this female, Black female, who is the first Black female in this position, the first Black female to run a Fortune 500 company, and her name is Rosalinda Ross Brewer. She's a HBCU graduate. Mm-hmm.
She graduated Spelman. She's ran several companies, from Amazon to Walmart to Sam's Club. Now she is the CEO of Walgreens, and the first Black person to be in that position.
Yes.
There she goes.
There she is.
There she goes.
So we want to highlight her. We want to bring the attention to you guys of who she is, because it's very important. Some of these things we do not know. We do not acknowledge it, and if we keep going at this pace, sometimes our kids think that these things are impossible, and we want to show you guys that it is actually possible to come out of your own community and be. I mean, she is severely successful. We're talking billionaire.
Exactly. She is number 27. She's ranked number 27 on Fortune's 50th most powerful women.
Yes.
So I hope to be number 50 one day. Just get on the list. Let me on the list.
I'm gonna be on there. So
hey, McNeil is in the building. What up, McNeil?
That's Miss McNeil.
So and we're gonna show an acknowledgement. Personal, right? Acknowledgement. That's it.
Okay, so we're gonna roll over to my personal acknowledgement. And so I have a friend, and this is a unique story because I met this young lady on social media. She actually started a few businesses, and I'm big on quotes and plaques and things of that nature. And she had a company where she was, designing her own. This I can't even turn to this plaque that I have, but she had like a lot of spiritual quotes and things like that, and books. And her and I became friends through social media. We did a lot of things together. She helped me build my website. Really was supportive, and I watched her come from, let's just literally say, nothing, and she's on her way to more than something. Her name is Tamisha Matthews. We're gonna have a picture of her come up. She's a founder, president, and screenwriter of Remnant TV. And some of you, I had hit you in your inbox because she's actually looking for playwrights or anybody who has a story, has a book, has a play, has a TV show idea, things like that of that nature. She's looking for you to reach out to them because she just started her own production company. So Remnant TV is a global Christian minority-owned and operated streaming television network available for viewing on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and they provide quality entertainment that does not need to be filtered. So she's looking to kind of reproduce what we grew up on, like those after school specials, good quality, wholesome TV where you don't have to mute it or your kids can't watch it, but nice quality stuff. So she ain't looking for my show film or my book, right? But there are things that we do have to offer. And so if you guys have anything, a story, a book, music, any type of thing that you feel like you could add to this, I implore you to reach out. Just reach out to her. And I believe that she did put her name up, and we do have a picture of the Remnant TV, so you guys can actually see. That's how it looks. So if you click on that, you look it up, Remnant TV Global. You could connect with her directly, send her your idea, and see what happens. You never know. And she's just a regular old Texas girl. So that's my good friend, and I'm glad to acknowledge her today. So that's it. Those were our Did You Knows, and the show is over. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. We're out. I know. The show is not over, but it feels like it's over because we halfway done. We halfway done with 50 minutes to go.
With 50 minutes to go. So where are we gonna go? We're gonna go to the question that she had.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many of you guys kind of pay attention to the things that are going on TV, but they have some really good hot topics. And one of them that we came across was this Meghan Markle and Piers Morgan interview. Well, I don't even want to say interview because she was interviewed by Oprah Winfrey. Right. And Piers Morgan, who's another.
He's like a TV journalist guy in Britain somewhere. Good Morning Britain.
Right.
That's the name of that show.
And so he came across, I guess he watched Meghan Markle's interview where she was discussing with Oprah what she was experiencing, her and Prince Harry. Prince Harry were experiencing in the kingdom, right? Like,
yes. The royal family.
Right, in the royal family, and she was experiencing and feeling that she was, I guess, experiencing racism. Let's just say it like that, tell her what it is. Prince Harry, who loves his wife as he should, he got to step down from all of that. He left all of that behind. I don't know how many of you would actually be able to do something like that, just leave your whole kingdom and all of everything that comes with it, for love or to do what you feel is right. But he walked away from all of that. And they eventually opened up and had an interview with Oprah where she was expressing that she even thought about killing herself from the things that she was experiencing because they were discussing whether or not her son, their child, would be fit for such a seat as being a prince, in their kingdom because of the color of his skin, because of the color of his skin. And so when she was experiencing these things, and she was not only talking about those experiences, she was talking about the anxieties and the depression that she was facing. Piers Morgan was like, he doesn't believe her. He was kind of like discrediting, her feelings.
What he said was, he was like, I don't believe anything she says. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even believe the weather report if she read it or something. Like, so basically everything she was saying to Oprah and the things that she was going through were all a lie.
Right. And he said that freedom of speech is a hill and I'm happy to die on it. So he just really is like, he dismissed her feelings altogether. And with that being said, she made a call to the television company to which he was working for, and not only did she bring up the fact that what he was doing was racist, she kind of put a lot of attention on the fact that he was dismissing mental illness. And that became a really big thing. And so, like, the next day he was gone. They say that he quit. We all know that he didn't quit, so they probably gave him the opportunity to do that. But it kind of went further when Sharon Osbourne and what's the comedian?
Cheryl Underwood.
And Cheryl Underwood, who they have a show called The Talk. I want to say it is The Talk. And Cheryl Underwood was asking who she thought was her friend or who she thinks is her friend, Sharon Osbourne, what she felt about that.
Sharon Osbourne actually made a tweet saying that she stands with Piers Morgan and she supports him and, you know, stands strong, and power to the people for them, for them, Maryland.
Right. And so Cheryl Underwood, not being disrespectful, talking to her friend, you know, being very calm. I don't know how many of you have actually seen the interview. She was asking her, like, you know, her stance on that. Like, what is your stance? Because I'm your friend and I've never seen you be racist. However, you know, she was asking a simple question to her as, I don't want to ask the question because it's kind of towards the question that you want to pose.
Definitely ask it.
Yeah, so basically what she was trying to say to her was, just because a person, and a lot of people of out of our color, let me just say that, they think that because they don't directly use racist terms, or they're not saying nigga or calling you, you know, whatever, or they're not doing something that is aggressively racist, like fighting you, beating you up, that they're not considered racist. But actually, Shay Biggs, she wanted to move a little bit further in that with her question, so I want her to be able to do that.
So now, like, as Black people, now with Piers Morgan, I looked him up a little bit. I saw some of the things he had to say about a few people, and he's a bit much, you know. So I wonder, like, as Black people, do we feel like we're overly sensitive to anything white people say about us, whether it could be something racist or not? Like, are we overly sensitive? I mean, that's, I don't want to say sometimes, but sometimes we can be, just because a white person could say something to me that you can say, or that you say, y'all both said the same thing, and just because it came from that person, it's probably like racist or something like that, or I would take it like that, you know, or anybody of color would take it like that. So it's like, was he being racist? Because I have yet to hear anything that he said racist. Maybe he have, and people been around. Or was he just being who he is, and that's an asshole? Because he definitely is an asshole.
Right. And what I think, me personally, I think that, you know, sometimes I think people hide behind things, right? And so, you know, you have this platform to use, just let's say, like our former president, glad he's gone, right? He was a racist, but because he didn't directly use these racist terms, you know, it can be overlooked, because people say that you do have freedom of speech and you can say whatever it is, but it doesn't mean that the implication of what it is that you're trying to insinuate is not racist. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, us as Black people, we can be sensitive to some things, but because I'm not a very sensitive person when it comes to certain things, and I don't even think that you are. But we can, if we hear something, it can be from a Black or whatever, the person who's not our color, let me just say that. Because when you say something, somebody be like, you said white, you said this, you said that, and I don't want to be up on no blog, you know, unless it's for a good thing. But because we're able to handle it, we might not take it away, but it doesn't mean that it's not, you know, racist, or the insinuation is not racist. You know, some people are able to have tougher skin and able to overlook certain things, and some people aren't. I personally can't overlook arrogance, right? Or I can't overlook ignorance or nastiness. Those things I'll pick up on. I personally don't think that I've ever, maybe, I don't want to say I haven't experienced racism, because maybe I have, and I just never took it personally, but I have not experienced a direct racist comment or statement. Now, behavior, where I feel like people try to make us feel like we're less than, especially in the field of work that we work in, we work with a lot of people that are of another, you know, of a different color, right? And they do have behaviors that would make them feel like they are superior to us.
Yeah.
And I do have an issue with that or a problem with that. Some people might say that it's not an issue. So for me, if I notice that you're talking to me in like a condescending type of way,
That's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem.
Right.
Yeah, like I was in Dunkin' Donuts and I felt like the guy was being a smart ass. So I listened. Like I was, going to grab. He was brown, but he wasn't me.
Right.
Right. He wasn't
Right.
me. He wasn't, black. He was brown.
Right.
And take nothing from him. Like we still was two different races.
Right. Pausa, I'm glad to see you in the building. Thank you for joining us for the first time, and I don't know ever if you have ever. So I had to shout you out like that. Yes, I did. Thank you. But anyway, I do think that people can be racist and they can hide behind doing it well. Because I was taught by one of my great friends, who I'm not going to shout out, Khadijah Lane, how to be nice and nasty, right? And so sometimes if somebody else saw it, they would be like, that was nasty. And I would be like, no, it wasn't. Because I wasn't directly saying something nasty doesn't mean that I wasn't being nasty.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I didn't imply nastiness. I wasn't trying to implicate nastiness. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, if I can do that, I do assume that racism can be handled in the same way, because you know better than to walk up to a black person and call them a nigger or to give them that attitude. So you want to dance around it so you can say, I didn't say that. I didn't do that. What are you talking about?
And it's crazy that you say that, because I have a point here. It says when white people are called out on racist things, do you feel like they always act as if they didn't know they were doing it, or saying something racist or anything like that? Because it's like as soon as you dare do it until you say something, it's like a bully.
Mm-hmm.
A bully gonna be a bully until you tell on the bully.
Right.
Right.
And I think so. That's what happened with Sharon Osbourne. Because she really doesn't think that she's a racist, and maybe she doesn't directly treat people in that way. But when you if you're my friend, I'm going to tell you, listen, that was wrong. And we do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
She'll tell us that we're wrong. We'll tell her that she's wrong, whether we accept it or
They
not.
did it right, but made me say sorry to them and everything.
We didn't make her say sorry. She did the right thing on her own, right? I won't make my other partner say anything, but she was wrong, and she was going in, But again, what I'm saying is that if it's a person that you have a relationship and they're doing something like that, you bring it to their attention. If they are trying to deflect that, they're not trying to hear you, especially when you are of that different race. That to me is a clear indication of something, right? I don't want to. Listen, because I talk to Shay all the time. And if anybody out there in TV land can be honest, there's a lot of things that we do and say that are racist. That if anybody heard us say it, we would be thrown under the bus. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But it's okay that we say it to each other, right? So we say, but if we're overheard, a lot of people would say, well, they're racist. You know what I mean?
But is it really okay? You are who you are, but can you admit to being racist?
I could admit to using racist terms or racist slurs, but in all fairness, and not to give myself any type of pass, I have a lot of things to say about my own people. So I talk about everybody, you know what I mean? And when I say that, not in a bad way, everything to me is funny. Everything to me, if I don't like it, I don't care if you're purple, brown, tall, black, short, whatever. If I have something to say, I'm going to say it. Now, I know better than to say something to somebody directly to offend them. And I know who to say it to and what to say. Now, if you come for me, I have an arsenal, right?
And
I will
come for me,
over that.
and I didn't send for you.
Right.
There's a problem.
And most times I don't, but as people, I'm just one of those people that everything is funny to me. But I'm going to talk about me. I'm going to talk about my children. I talk about my mother. If it's funny, it's just funny, right? But people can take that out of context. Even though your intentions are not to be, it doesn't mean that what you're doing is not offensive to somebody. And those are the things that we need to pay a little bit more attention to.
Yeah, we could be offensive to our own kind and
right.
Racist or whatever. I don't know whether that's the right term to use towards our own kind.
Right.
Like me, I don't like going into, and I love the food, but I don't like going into Caribbean spots.
Yeah.
Why? Because I got the locks and stuff like that. Once they know you American and you don't really know what you want, or you want to ask questions about something, they be all freaking rude all the time. Rude.
Yo, she goes in
come
there.
on.
And she goes in. And here's the thing, we have to understand that different cultures, they're just different. And some West Indian cultures are very aggressive, and it can be taken offensively. You know what I mean? Especially if you don't grow up in that type of environment. You're not really. And she is a product of this particular type of environment. She, that's her a part of her second family, but that particular part of, I guess, the Caribbean island is not as aggressive as others. I don't want to say, that particular because I don't want to offend anybody. See, so I know better than to do that. Off camera, we already know. But I'm just saying, when you go into some of these places, even people from those same cultures will be like, why is she talking so nasty? Why is she so aggressive? It's like no bedside manner. When you're doing customer service, you have to have.
Then you in there supporting a black-owned business.
Yeah.
And then they be the nastiest one.
So, and I know it could be. See, me, I'm like this. Listen, it's like the soup Nazi for me, right? You know better than to talk on the line. I get up there, I want my food. I ain't saying nothing. I get up to the line, I order my stuff, I step out, and I'm going. This one right here, she knows she's not.
But do I be doing anything? They just nasty to me, right?
And here's the thing. People will think that she's nasty, and she's going to say that she's not nasty. You know what I mean? So everybody has a different view, I guess.
I'm not nasty. I'm just blunt. Like, sometimes whatever comes out my mouth came out too fast. And it don't be with an attitude. It's just like, why did you say that? Like, sometimes I think of, like, why? What's that mean? I ask her, what's that mean? What's that rude? And she'd be like, nah.
Because like I said, because I know her, I can look at her and be like, that's just who she is. But people who don't know you, they won't say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn that even with myself.
All right, so the lady even saw today with the tamarind sauce. All I wanted was a little tamarind. I just wanted a little tamarind sauce. You didn't say you why I gotta get all of that?
First of all,
I went in there nice and jolly, and then here she go because she freaked up and didn't put tamarind sauce on.
But you know what I did, honey? I was right on the side waiting for my food like this. Cause she
don't even help though.
I don't want no fingers in my porridge. I don't want nothing messed up on mine, so I'm like this. Cause listen, you ever saw Seinfeld with the soup Nazi? I order and step aside. That's it. I don't have nothing else to say.
What did I do though? What did I do in there? What did I do?
That was funny. You didn't do nothing.
Was she nasty?
I think she was just being, I don't want to say that, but she was just being,
All right, so this is not the first time. We went to the spot another time, and they kicked us out. When they was like, yeah, 4 people, right? First of all, you can't even see who's in there. Damn, let me see, it's 4 people in there. Then I get out. Right. You yelling at me, and I'm in my uniform, miss. Respect me.
Right. And then once something happens, she ain't going back. She's getting. I don't want to eat there. She ain't.
I didn't eat there for months.
Listen, Dawn Hill. This is Bishop's sister. She said people say she's nasty, but she thinks she's just cut and dry, straight shooter. That's me too. But I had to learn how to kind of deviate from, I mean, my little straight and cut and dry could be offensive to some people, and I don't feel like I should have to change. But I do think I need to take into consideration.
I'm looking at these comments or whatever.
Somebody said Child Biggs is cocky.
Shakiba, you care to elaborate? I'm not cocky at all.
Somebody said you was mean. We're just gonna go rolling down.
Really?
But listen, I think that again, people with me, I do get accused of being mean or nasty because I'm just straight to the point. I'm not going bull crap. I'm not doing all that. I'm just going, but I'm not nasty either. So I think I'm a balance. I'm in the middle. So again, with the racist part, I do think that people can hide behind that, and then they can use that to their advantage, especially people who are not of our color. Yeah. I could definitely feel that. What was your next thing? So listen, we were actually supposed to do a regular Did You Know show. We were going to talk about things that we felt like people didn't know, and it was like information that we found out and like, we wanted to share it. Then we remembered that it was Women's History Month, so we wanted to highlight some women. I do really, really, really want to implore you guys that if you have something, when God gives you an opportunity, I need you guys to take heed to the opportunity. And so if you have somebody that is like you, Tamisha Matthews being like you, when I say that, don't wait till she becomes the Fortune 500 person who's not looking you know, to throw her hand as far back as we are. Right now, when you have the time or the chance to try to climb up that ladder, if you know somebody, share the information. If you want the information, you can hit us up and we will forward the information to you. I just want you guys to take heed to that because we think about that a lot. And with that being said, I just do want to thank you guys who have been loyal to us and just, you know, sticking with us. We see that our numbers go up, they go down, you know, they fluctuate pretty much, but we appreciate you guys who have stood the test with us. And we've been doing this almost a year now.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to elevate as time goes on, and we're looking to do more things. But, you know, those of you who really have any ideas, when we ask you guys to kind of email us or send your questions or send your comments, we want you to do that. We don't want to wait until we get to a different status and everybody's like, oh, they forgot where they came from, because we really did.
Okay.
You know, when you climb up the ladder, you can't keep turning your hand back for people who don't want to.
You don't want to climb up with you,
right?
You know,
and then they want to wait till you get to the top and say, "Hey, throw me a bone." It doesn't work like that. Right. So if somebody is giving us the opportunity, I'm telling you, take it, because when you see me up there with her, don't say I didn't tell you first. Right. What did Cindy McNeil say just now?
Ride this ride with us.
Right.
I don't see a post from her.
She said many people that are not of our color use passive aggressive approach and act like they're the victim when they're confronted. And I think that's true. That's true. So I was doing a lot of did you knows, and some of them I'm not sure if I should actually share with you guys. I think that, you know, it could be a little bit, maybe a little bit too graphic as I
share with me, because I don't know. Share with me.
You know, we were talking one time about, I don't really listen. Because I know that Bishop watches, I'm not comfortable with using my did you knows. Anyway. Come on, he's not on. We don't know.
He's not watching.
So my did you know, one of the did you knows I had was, I have to find a good one because I can't say. Okay, so let me start with this one. Did you guys know that, how many of you eat fruit snacks? I'm gonna start with an easy one. Fruit snacks. I know everybody likes fruit snacks.
I know what you're going with this.
Right. So in my office, they love fruit snacks. People eat fruit snacks all the time.
I don't eat it.
But I found out that the same type of wax that they use to coat the fruit snacks, those little fruit snacks, the gummies, whatever it is that you eat, is the same type of wax that they use to coat cars. Did you know that? No. Did you know that? And you guys stay popping them. And I tell my son that he loves that Haribo gummy bear thing, and I'm like, you know, that they use that to coat cars. And he's like, you know, he don't care. You know what I mean? I'm saying that to say, like, a lot of things that we eat, you know what I mean, are can lead to like health complications.
Yeah, it's like even some tilapia. I think that's it's sold at, where did I see this at? I've seen it at Shop and Stop. That's what the name of it. Stop and Shop or whatever. Some tilapia, frozen tilapia in the bag. If you read the label, it's like not even like some sodium something is in there. It's like, what the hell type of poisonous shit is this? Like,
Lena is like, hell no. I can just hear her saying it. So right, I stopped eating tilapia too. I mean, after my bishop kept asking, not real fish, it's not real fish. You know, he was going in on us off of that. I want to go to this because I don't know. We don't have a lot of men on. I'm not really sure, but we do have men that are in our group. And so this was something that just popped out at me. I didn't look for it. It just came to me on its own. But men testicles, right? They
the
hang.
long ones or the short ones? Which one?
Men's testicles hang, right? And they said they hang slightly because it's slightly cooler at that level, and it helps them produce sperm. It helps them.
I can see that because when they're cold or after they ejaculate, they shrivel up.
I had no idea. So when I read this, it was a good did you know for me, because I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know. That's why they hang so low. Like, you know, they hang low because I had no idea. So that was a did you know for me.
Yeah, but also with men's testicles, y'all.
This is so funny.
No, it's serious. With men's testicles, not to put his business out there or whatever, but no, I'm not.
I was gonna say who's his? Oh no,
yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But y'all can actually twist your testicles. It's called testicle torsion. You could twist them, and it's very, very painful. That's when your right or your left, whatever nut it is, whatever nut goes, say your right nut going to your left sack, and it's there. Now that right nut could die if the doctors don't get to it in a certain amount of time. So it lessens your percentage of having kids. That's when you're playing sports and you're not wearing compression shorts or you going wild crazy and your nuts is hanging low and they like boom, 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 slapping on your thighs and stuff like that. So I'm just saying, be careful because your testicles could turn.
Can you imagine having one deflated testicle? Mm-hmm. Be careful with your testicles, please. Be careful with your testicles. Be careful. Did you guys know that a banana was a berry? No, I didn't know that. You guys didn't know that, did you? So bananas are berries. Raspberries and strawberries are really not considered berries. And they're not what they consider true berries, right? Mm-hmm. So basically,
it's like a Dr. CB true berry, not true berry type of thing, or
no, this is just real stuff. So what makes a banana, what makes a berry is when it is produced out of a single ovary. So like you're just saying, like if you have twins or if you have just a single baby. When it's a single baby, one sac produces one thing, and a banana only produces one banana out of that one ovary. But raspberries and strawberries, they can produce multiple. And so when they can produce multiple things, they're really not considered true berries. You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
You learn something every day.
But I know chicken fingers. Chickens don't have fingers. And y'all keep eating them birds. Y'all need to stop.
They do have fingers.
No,
once they toes.
Chicken feet.
Okay.
So why you go and order chicken fingers? What is that? What part of the chicken is that? What is it? What is it?
My 9-year-old told me that. Yeah, see, because they learned that in school. I know that was you. That's right. So these are things that a lot of people didn't know. So the show initially we were going to start with just did you know, the same things that we felt like people didn't know, but you guys really don't know that. Did you know that crackers will give you more cavities and faster cavities than anything else? Crackers. You know how you eat crackers? Everybody's munching on a cracker in the middle of the night. So it says because of the acid that's in them, when you're eating them and it gets all stuck in your teeth, if you're not going and flossing and brushing your teeth after that, you can get a lot more cavities with crackers than you can candy. You didn't know that. Look,
I didn't know that.
Chickens don't have fingers. They're laughing at you, see?
They don't. They don't. But y'all order chicken fingers and stuff like that. Chicken nuggets. What's a nugget?
Stay off the chicken strips. That's what
Stay off of it. Like, it's nasty. Stop eating these birds. Like,
she's a vegan. So
I'm not.
Well, she's halfway vegan only because she's like cheese. You know what I mean?
And I haven't eaten that in a while.
Right. But she does not eat any meat at all. Right? So she's not eating any meat.
And I eat very, very, very little animal products. And when I do consume animal products, I feel, I don't know. I just feel, ugh.
Well, I don't eat red meat, but I'm going to eat me some seafood. I just have to.
And it's crazy because I can eat seafood.
That's chicken breast. Ella said that's chicken breast. Chicken nuggets come from chicken breast, and chickens have breasts.
Okay. Do they really?
They got a chest. When you crack it open, when you get the chest, this is the breast, right? They got thighs.
Do they really got breasts, though?
I eat graham crackers every night. Well, I hope you get up, Kiva, and brush your teeth.
we just was talking about teeth and stuff like that.
Right.
So, well, yeah.
So, another thing. We had a post about, it was a lady who was saying, would she be wrong if she left a guy because his penis was too small? I know you guys remember this, right?
Yeah, that was a review show.
Right, and somebody posted, and they were like, well, do we complain when she's stretched out and when she's this and she's that?
Right.
So we went through that whole thing. I'm not going to give you the whole thing, the whole thing that I said about it before with the men and their size penis and this and that. But they said a lot of sex will not stretch out a person's vagina. This is did you know? This is from the doctors, right? Technically, as I thought about it when they said that, you have women, we have babies.
Yeah, I think that's the dumbest shit.
And there's no man who's as big as a baby.
It's the dumbest shit.
So we going out here having babies and we able to go back to something that's satisfying. How is it that you feel?
Or even when they be like, oh, you must be gaining from the back. Look at your butt getting big. That don't got nothing to do with nothing. That is you eating.
So I just wanted to point that out because that was like one of the things. The first thing that I wanted to say was that oh, well, when you stretched out, whatever. Because you have women who push out twins and triplets vaginally. And if they can do that, trust me, you're not phasing them at all, period. So they said that the vagina is incredibly elastic and it will always snap back to its usual size and size. Oh my God, exactly, snap back. You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. So this is very important information. You know what I mean? So when I was doing my research, I don't know why. Every time I kind of put in, did you know, or facts that people need to know, everything seemed to be like sexual, and I'm like, come on, can I get something else?
It's life.
It's life. It kind of makes me uncomfortable because I don't want to be sitting there looking like a horn dog, but this is it.
It's life, though. It's nice.
Shay, do that sound again. And I know his dumb self is laughing. That spells his. He's stupid. I know he's cracking up. So anyway, another thing, I love white chocolate. How many of you love white chocolate? Let me tell you something. White chocolate is my favorite thing. But did you know that white chocolate does not contain any real chocolate components? What is that?
You took my little stuff. That's the only person. Lena, like stop.
I don't know if y'all can read.
We're trying to do a show. They can read them. They can read.
But Lena, she's something else. But anyway, white chocolate doesn't contain any actual real chocolate components. Nobody really knows that. So it's made of like blends of sugar and milk products, vanilla, and cocoa butter. But there's no actual chocolate. I was surprised about that because I love white chocolate, and there's none in there.
You know, a lot of animals that's here in the States have cancer.
And then you guys eating them animals.
Yeah.
I'm eating them too. I'm not gonna lie.
So a lot of animals here in the States, there is
more cows.
Yeah, more cows. Or who knows? Like you eat a hamburger, how you know it's a cow? It could be a horse. So I'm just saying, you don't know what meat it is. It could be a bull, a cow, a horse, whatever. I guess they all considered like beef animals. I don't know. They're not chicken, so they gotta be beef, red meat type animals. My doctor actually said it before. He doesn't know everything, neither do I, or nobody does. But he said the majority of the animals killed in the United States for consumption are sick. And they're killed, they just cut the cancer out, just like they do in humans, try to cut the cancer out when the cancer probably spreads somewhere else. Mm-hmm. They cut the cancer out, they freeze it, 6 months later, they sell it. Like, y'all gotta wake up.
Did you know that?
Did you know?
I didn't know that.
Half of these animals out here that y'all eating are bad. They're damaged. They're sick. They are sick animals. That's why I don't eat them.
But listen, they do have fish farms and things like that. So they probably growing shrimp and all of that too. But she eat that. You know, she likes that.
And it's
I want to talk about building businesses. Let's go. Let's talk about building businesses. What you want to talk about? I just connected you guys to a great business idea, so let's get it popping.
Building businesses. What type of business we want to talk about building? Because right now, okay, she has a business. She got Shade Up and whatever. Shade Up. She got a book coming out. You know, she's about to be an author. You know, world's bestseller, renowned author. You know, I'm gonna be a renowned director.
Right.
You know.
Right. So listen, we can talk about that all day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing about me is I don't like talking a lot. You know, I like to talk a lot when it's about, you know, things like this, but I like movers and shakers. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of people talk a lot. And even when I post things up and it has to do with business, nobody bites. You know what I mean? So we try to stay connected and try to stay focused on things that you guys like or you guys kind of respond to. Mm-hmm. You know, when you're talking about business, there's a lot that you can talk about.
We can talk about everything about business, everything that we know. Like we can talk about business, but what about it?
And so you want us to help bring something out of you? Okay.
What do you like to do?
Right.
Like,
you know, let's start there first.
Yeah.
And again, like with me, right? I wanted to do this pretty dope conversation and, you know, have this talk. And Shay and I would talk all the time, like, oh, we looking for this and we looking for that and we want this and we want that. And then one day God was like, you guys are looking and we're saying together that we both want something, but we're not even looking at each other. You know what I mean? So you don't want to do it on your own. Team up with somebody. Right. Find somebody who likes what you like. the issue that I have with a lot of people, and especially in our communities, is that we'll have 10 people doing the same thing instead of those 10 people
Becoming
teaming up
one
making
more.
one great business.
Yeah.
And so, like with me, I have an organization called For Women United, a women's empowerment organization, and I do, many things. I can counsel, I can support, I can take time with you to help build you up, and you'll never do anything with it. Mm-hmm. And so, because I do it from the kindness of my heart, I do it out. I take my time and I sit down with people, I talk to people, I encourage people, I give information. They do nothing with it. It's a waste of my time. And so at this particular juncture, I'm looking to start, doing consulting. Yeah. To where now I'll sit down and talk to you, but now you're
gonna be wasting your time if you don't take the information that she's giving you or the help that she's advising you. So instead of wasting her time, you'll be wasting your time because it's your paid dollars that is going towards information that you could possibly use.
So again, like I was saying, you guys might have some of the same ideas, but instead of you trying to go and duplicate what you see the other person doing, you should come together and try to do that together. Right. Two minds are greater than one. So like when we came up with this idea, then we had one of Shay's friends, Rosa Rodriguez, I don't know, whatever, whichever one you guys know her by. She wanted to start doing her printing company. Now she prints. You see this? Check this out.
She prints a lot.
I don't know how to.
She prints a lot.
Pretty dope.
My friend's about to do a girls trip, so if y'all plan on wearing like the same type of tees and y'all wanted to say something, whether it be like girls trip 2020, ghetto, whatever y'all wanted to say, hit her up. Right. Hit her up.
Right. And so, what we did was, listen, you know what? You could join us. Let's do that. So let's build this together. Like, she's not losing her business by working with us. She's gaining business by working with us. Because guess what? I already had a platform before I did this. Mm-hmm. So now this is giving us another platform. This now is giving her a platform. Somebody else who wants to. So you know how to do production, marketing, things like that. All you have to do is team up with people that you know and just create a bigger business. You know what I mean? And you guys will elevate from there. Right. Something with inmates, that's something simple. You can reach out to the prisons. You can reach out to different organizations who, they go and they can counsel inmates. You could, reach out to some of those people. I don't want to say, because I don't know, a lot of people.
You could reach out to some ex-felons that probably do the same thing that you want to do. You can reach out to some of them and whatever ideas that you have. Some of them probably want to do the same thing. I'm looking for somebody who has video equipment at a discounted rate right now. Mm-hmm. Until I can be able to dish out. This person is costing $200 an hour. Until I can do that, I'm looking for somebody who needs the exposure. Right.
And now with COVID, I think they probably limited that inmate interaction or people coming in. And I actually do know somebody who was doing a program inside some of the jails. I don't know exactly which one because my time didn't meet up with hers. It was during the day, and I could not help her out with that, even though she offered me the opportunity. So I could always reach out to her too. But here's the thing: to recommend somebody who's not serious, that's it's kind of iffy, it's kind of touchy, right? Yeah. So I need to make sure that the person that I'm recommending is serious, right? I don't want to lose my, the credentials that I have, or people respecting my word or taking, my advice on, giving somebody opportunity and they're not really serious. This requires time. When you put your name down or you say yes to something, it's not yes when you feel like it. Once you get going, it's going, And you could also reach out to your congressperson or your council person in the area, and they can connect you to those things. These things they most likely start on volunteer. And that's the issue, that people don't want to volunteer. They want to jump in and start getting paid. And sometimes you just got to put your
a lot of things working with inmates and prisons and stuff like that. It's not a lot of jobs per se to work with them to like start a business. It'd be like a nonprofit organization type thing that you would be looking to start. You can start a pen pal thing or reach out to some neighborhood businesses who are willing to hire ex-felons. Start a pen pal system where you're interacting or people's interacting with people that's about to be released, back into society. So.
And another thing, you're going to see somebody on here, Debonair Pelzer. I believe he was also a part of, I don't know if it's like the prayer ministry or something like that within the church because he works in corrections. And Ellis just pointed out also, you'll see Tokyo. He'll be on. You could look through some of our friends. He's on. They're actually correction officers that work inside of the facilities, and you can reach out to them as well. I don't know if Pels is actually paying attention, but I know a young lady who's, I think she's the deputy of the corrections. I don't know, their organization or whatever the case is. Her name is Hazel Jenkins. She's one of the top officers over there. If I needed to reach out to her as well, but you have to have something written up. You gotta have a plan. You can't just go in there and be like, "Oh, I want to do this."
Yeah, Alex just said, sorry to cut you off. She said, going into the jails, you need a 501c3. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's a certain type of form also. So
yeah, so 501c3 is the nonprofit that type of thing. But anyway, listen, Lena, reach out to Debonair Pelza. He could kind of it's Jennings, Hazel Jennings, yeah. So you could reach out to Pelza and maybe he could kind of give you some information or see what he could do and kind of team you up. And that's a great thing, Yeah,
it's a great thing, and it's dear to heart. Like she said, she's a convicted felon as well. So you know the struggle,
right? So I didn't want to kind of go elaborate and get it, but since you put it out, that's a good thing because you know what they may need or what they're going through, and that is a great thing,
right?
So listen, for business, anybody who has a business idea, listen, I implore you because I know what it's like to struggle and trying to build a business. I know what it's like to be the only one in your particular circle that's trying to do it, and the hardships that we face trying to just figure things out. And so it's always been my heart's desire to pay it forward.
Right.
So I'm always looking for a way to help somebody give information, to share things like that. I'm not an expert, but from what I've learned from then until now, it could definitely help somebody kind of move a little faster.
Definitely.
Move a little faster. Listen, that's what Tamisha Matthews did for me. She built my website. If you go to DeniseMcIntoshSpeaks.com, you'll see my website with things that she created for me on her own, just being in support of her sister. You know what I mean? And so I always promise God every night when I'm praying, like, when you give it to me, I promise that I'm going to pay it forward. And whoever we work with, that's the desire that I have for them, that you pay it forward too. You know what I mean?
So paying it forward,
it
gets you a lot of blessings. Paying it forward. One of my friends asked me to help them with their LLC. I don't feel like they were serious. Mm-hmm. So, I'm like, yeah, whatever the case may be. So at the time I'm driving, you watching, I'm quite sure you're going to comment. You watching it, whatever the case may be. But I can help you with it and show you the ropes and, give you advice and tell you what to do. That's one thing. Create an email. Check to see if the name is available. Whatever name you want or whatever the case may be. And that is the easiest stuff.
Right.
And you were not serious because you never got back to me with that information.
Right. And Lena, reach out to us anytime. Trust me. If I have the information, I'm going to forward it to you. I'll help you. I'll give you whatever information because, again, I know how hard it is. And you got to be serious. The little stuff that's reachable, finding your name, creating your name, looking it up, a lot of things cost a lot of money that some people don't have. But the things that are at your reach, right, I was about to say, things that are at your reach, you need to do those things. Right. Do your research. And once people can see, sometimes to me, I feel like it's better that you're taught, like how they say, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for the day. If you teach a man a fish, he'll eat for the rest of his life. Yes. So for me, my goal is to teach you. I don't want anybody doing anything for me. Show me.
It's teach one, each one. Like,
each one
teach one. Long as we're teaching, somebody is learning, and then that person that learned can start teaching.
Right.
And vice versa. It keeps going. It keeps going. Right.
And so, listen, I love that. I think that there's no way we're going to reach this Fortune 500 companies and doing all these things if we're just sitting on our tail. And that's even with me in dating. Like, I just can't be with a lazy person who's content with coming home from his 9 to 5, sitting down, just flicking the TV. That's his job. I think that I have just a little bit too more, and I'm having a hard time figuring my own way out. So I can't be with somebody that's not going to add a little something to me. And, I want to do the same to that person. So, listen, anytime you guys want to team up, stop doing the same thing I'm doing and let's do it together. You know what I mean?
Right.
Add.
You gotta add. Add. Yeah. Because if you're not adding to me, you taking something away. Whether it be my time, whether it be my peace, my mental space. If you're not adding, and I allow you in my circle or in my space you're taking something.
Right.
You know, let's add to, and vice versa. If I'm not adding to whoever else, I'm taking something from them too, whether it be their peace, their mental space, or whatever the case. Let's add. We have to add.
Right. And don't be selfish. That's another thing. You know, some of you guys will hold on to things, and that's why. Listen, there's a story in the Bible where these gentlemen were given talents, right? And you know, one was given 1 talent, somebody was given 2, somebody was given 5. I'm using just random numbers, but we're gonna start with 1, 5, 10, right? And say God gave you these talents, right? And He expects you to do something with them. And so the one with 1 talent was so excited that he had this talent, and he took his talent, he went and buried it, and he helped it, and he kept it in a safe place. And then the one who had 5 talents, he turned his into 10, and the one who had 10 talents turned his into 20. And when he came back to them, like, you know, to their master, or to their God, whoever, he said, you know, well, what did you do with what you had? And the one with 10 had 20, and like, great, I'm excited that you did this. And the one who had 5 had 10, and the one who had 1, he ran back and he got his talent, and he buried it. And he brought it back, and he was cursed with a curse. Because God gives you talents, He gives you gifts, and you don't use them. It's not for you to hold on to it and die with it. It's for you to reproduce, to create, to do things. So don't bury your talent. You know, even if you just move a little bit, move. Even if you're moving like a snail, move. Don't hold back, you know what I mean? And don't hold it to yourself. Because the idea is for us to all be successful. Not for you to be successful because you think that that's going to make everybody look at you and you're the biggest and the next best thing. You know what I mean? You don't get kudos for that.
Right.
You know?
I don't like to be around nobody that's not willing.
Right.
You know? I don't like that. Like,
right.
I don't like, because I'm not where I want to be, but I'm on my way. Right. You understand? So if you're not on your way to where you want to be, and I want to be here, you don't got to want to be here, but you cannot stay here.
Right.
Staying here is something wrong if you don't want to progress at some way, shape, or form. It's something wrong with that. I don't know.
Right. And even for me, what I learned, and I say this all the time, I have to get a new friend base. And there's nothing wrong with my friends. I love my friends. But at some point, you have to elevate, because what happens is a lot of times, not that we judge ourselves or we're judging our friends, you look at your friends and your friends are all here. And some of us might have a better job, so we already think we're here, right? So you're already over what you think, you're over that person, so you already think you've arrived because you're already here, right? Like, I have a little bit more, I have a better job, I have a man, a husband, or whatever, and she's down here, but she's still my friend, but I'm just right here. So that's as high as you want to elevate, right? Because you keep your friend base or what you're exposed to at a minimum. Now, when you kind of change your surroundings, you put yourself out there a little bit more, then that status is going to change. You might meet people that are at a higher level, and it's going to either force you to push yourself to that level, or it's going to help you catapult you to a higher level. And so those are the desires that I have. I do not desire to stay around people that stay the same.
Right.
And so I'm constantly moving and trying to grow. And, you know, it's kind of hard because, when you don't have people around you that actually doing those things.
You got to go out and meet these
That's
people,
right.
you know?
And it takes for that one person to reach down and say, I see something in you, and I'm coming for you, right? And so that's where I come in on my level. Like, I'm always looking at somebody and like, do you really want? All I need is the desire for you to have the desire to want to do it, and I'm going to give you all of the energy that I have, because people took a chance on me. I'm telling you, I met Tamisha Matthews on social media, and she helped me. I can't even tell you. She helped me with so much. I mean, I know I could be further, and things could be a little bit, could be happening a little bit faster. You know, sometimes it takes your financial status to change, and things, your situations to change, and we all experience the things in life.
And sometimes we just don't. We just don't jump.
Right.
You just know, sometimes we just don't jump.
You just have to do it.
You know, and I know I'm that person. Like, I want, and I work towards. Do I move at a snail pace? Yeah, I can say that. But sometimes we just don't jump. Sometimes we just gotta jump.
Yep.
And wherever we land. At least we jump.
Right.
It's exactly. I rather try and fail than never try at all. Right. You know.
Somebody said that the richest place on earth is a cemetery.
It's the truth.
And I want to say that was Les Brown. You know, I kind of listen to a lot of different prolific speakers, preachers, and things like that. And he said that the richest place on earth is a cemetery, because most people die with their ideas. Most people die with their dreams. You know, you have to listen. You know, make that plan, Put it on paper. You know what I mean? And just run with it. You have to write it down. Make it plain, and then just go with that. That's just. I don't know. What's your takeaway? Because we got 3 minutes. Let's just. Lena put us in a whole other direction. We were doing and stuff like that. This is good.
But it's great. It's great. It's great. We love when the show becomes just natural. So my takeaway would be just because you alive doesn't mean that you're living. Unique I am, and so are you. Don't be good, be great.
That was good. I don't even know why I should have to come behind
you. You know, do what you do. You D-Mac.
You know, listen.
Do what you do. You D-Mac. Shake things. Right?
Listen. In life, we're given several hands, right? One could be a full deck, and one could be half of the deck. The person with the half of the deck always feels like he's counted out, that he's gotten less. But it doesn't matter how much you have as far as physical or what you could actually touch. It's more of what you have in here. So you can have more physically, and I can have more desire, I can have more drive, I can have more motivation, and I can still be more successful to you. So don't look at what you physically have in your hand that you can touch that's tangible. Think about what you have inside. Inside of here, and those things are going to get you to the success that you're looking for.
And she took my shield off. I don't know.
That was real random.
She would have just come with all of that from all up in here.
That was real random. Like that's listen. Somebody named Denise McClain taught me this. She said, if you stay ready, you will never have to get ready.
So I'm always on time.
Stay ready, Betty. So we want to thank you guys for showing up for us and helping us get through this, Lena. We thank
Somebody is saying something that I disagree with.
Go.
She said we need this podcast 3 times a week. I totally disagree.
So here's the thing, right? We are looking to find a way to help this podcast grow. And we need you guys. I was asking Shay, did she think we need to come on a little bit more, try a different day? Because we're not, as far as the live is not growing. And that's why we need your feedback. That's why we need your help. Because it's not going to happen on its own. And this is where we talk about business and growing. You have some people that make money off of doing these people's social media pages.
We do everything ourselves.
And we're doing a lot of it ourselves. I don't have one thing. And just thank God that my church is virtual now. When I go back into church, like in April, it's going to be even more, busy. And I'm telling you, I feel like God has something coming more powerful and great, and it's going to really happen. So we need you guys to help us do that. So we're going to try to see if another day would work for most people, to see if we can get more people on. We would like you guys to email us your questions or text us your questions, because we would like to do a show. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask us, if you have anything that you want us to talk about, we're asking you guys to email us, to text us, and all that. We want to have people come in, and even if you can't physically come in because of COVID and the social distancing, you can't pop it on the screen. So we're just asking you guys to just be of support. Tell people about it. Invite them,
we understand that you guys, you want to see us and you want to hear from us, and we want to hear from you guys too. But that's the thing. We want to hear from you guys too. We want to see that you're helping, because we cannot do this without y'all. So that's point blank and period. We can't do this without y'all. We can't do it without him, but we cannot do it without y'all. So thank you. Don't forget to tell a friend, join, subscribe, share, invite, like, comment. What else?
Remember that even if you have somebody who missed it, like them to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you got any ideas, if you have any skills and you want to be serious about doing what you're doing, join our team.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's going to pay off in the long run. So we thank you, and we're going to say peace.
Peace.
Peace. Good night.